Well, guys. Yeah, what a shitstorm. So if you didn't hear, a couple days ago, there was a shooting at a gay nightclub in Orlando, Florida. The shooter was a radical Muslim. He called before, he called 911 before he shot up the place to pledge his allegiance to ISIS. ISIS personally took responsibility for the attack. You would think that the problem is clear. It's radical Islam and ISIS, right? I mean, I could be fucking wrong, of course, but I mean, seems pretty simple. It's the problem is radical Islam. But, the left, it's so stupid. They're blaming guns for some fucking reason, even though the attacker was an Islamic terrorist who had affiliation with ISIS. Whatever. So we're going to be responding to this gentleman. He's called the loose Aussie, Alex Williamson. He's alright. He's a good person, I guess. I liked this page a while back, and then I just saw this video on my feed, so we're going to be responding to it. Okay.
America just had their worst mass shooting in history.
True.
Something needs to change.
Yeah, sir. Something does need to change. What needs to change is we need to get rid of gun-free zones. We need to make it easier for law-abiding citizens, you American citizens, to carry firearms to defend themselves. Because if you notice, most, if not all, mass shootings happen in gun-free zones, where even if a law-abiding citizen had, let's say, a concealed carry weapon permit, CCW, they couldn't carry it on the grounds, the premises. I mean, they're law-abiding citizens. They don't want to risk a felony, so they'd rather just not have the hassle and not bring it there in the first place. But yeah, gun-free zones are basically the issue, and it's not Americans' right to self-defense and firearms.
Because in 1791, when the Second Amendment right to bear arms was first drafted, this was a time when there was still conduct of war. Forget about conduct.
To be honest, there's still conduct of war now. I mean, it's not like it was in the 1700s, where you had to march in formation and then fire, reload, and it takes 20 seconds to reload. Sure, I'll give you that point. There were different conducts of war back then. It's not like that now, but there are still conducts of war. It's not like they just went away.
In nightclubs outside of war zones.
Even though, wait, are you trying to say that America's a war zone? Because I'm pretty sure in actual war zones there's not nightclubs where people go to have fun.
There were still chivalrous rules for which to follow on the battlefield. Like, alright men, we shall line up 30 paces from our enemy in neat rows. We shall wish him a good battle, fire upon him, reload, take 3 steps forward, let the good sirs on the opposition army fire back upon us, and then in due course we shall thank them for such a lovely battle.
Okay, I think you're kind of exaggerating that a bit. Sure, tactics were different. There were Napoleonic tactics, there were marching in formation, all that. But you're making it seem like, warfare is alright. No. I'm pretty sure you're not, after the war, you're not going to be like, hey, guy on the other side of the army, or the other army, you just killed my best friend, but good job, that was a good fight. No, war isn't like that. War is hell. I mean, war, no matter which era you're in, it's pretty fucking horrible. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's not how it went down.
This was also a time when there was dueling. Dueling was commonplace amongst not just anyone. Your vice president, the US vice president, killed the secretary to the treasurer in
Yeah, well, this was back when Americans weren't fucking politically correct, the liberal pussies. I mean, for fuck's sake, can you see Obama dueling today? No, because he's a fucking pussy. Matter of fact, a lot of Americans are fucking pussies, because this day and age, they care more about safe spaces and feelings than they do people's fucking rights. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll give it to you. There was dueling back then. Yeah. Imagine Obama trying to duel now. What a pussy.
1804 in a dueling contest. So if government...
Yeah, there were also a lot less shit talkers back then. Little tough guys. Because back then, if you're trying to act all tough and you're talking shit to someone, whatever they challenge you to a duel, and what are you gonna do? You're gonna back out? That just means you're a fucking coward. So yeah, a lot less shit talkers back then.
Prominent government officials are taking part in these shoot fests that are considered more sport than anything else. I'm not surprised.
Shoot fest. There's just two guys who they were back to back, then they'd walk away, and then they'd turn around and shoot at each other. I mean, if you just call two guns going off a shoot fest, then alright, I guess, to each his own. Whatever makes you sleep better at night.
The gun laws weren't strict. They didn't need to be strict, did they?
They don't need to be strict now. I mean, if you look at most of the places that have the strictest gun laws, look at Chicago, look at Detroit, look at Los Angeles, look at New York, look at New Jersey. Strict gun laws, all they do is make it harder for law-abiding citizens to have access to firearms to defend themselves. Like, come on. What's more... sorry, getting tongue-tied. Which place is more likely to get hit, attacked, assault, robbed, whatever, by criminals? Is it a place with gun-free zones where citizens aren't armed? Or is it a place like, let's say, a gun show, a shooting range, where people are fucking armed and they know how to use their weapons? Which do you think a shooter is gonna go attack? I don't know about you, but I think that the shooter would go to a place where everyone's defenseless and not able to defend themselves and fire back. Just a fucking thought.
There's no automatic weapon, so if you were a hate-filled cunt who couldn't understand men kissing other men, you'd have to challenge that person to a duel. You couldn't fathom going down to a public place and taking 50 people out in a single outing. No weapon was capable.
Actually, there were weapons that were capable of taking out massive amounts of people. There were Gatling guns, there was cannons, there's artillery, or not, you know what I mean. But it's like, just to think that there weren't weapons back then that could take out large amounts of people. It's just ignorance.
Forward 100 years though, it's World War I. All of a sudden war gets industrialised. Global powers pour millions into munitions developments. The romanticism's dead. The conduct's out the window. Cunts are gassing each other. We see the development of the machine gun all of a sudden. The machine gun, which cuts down 60,000 British troops in a single day. And instead of thinking how horrific, Americans think...
Are you implying that Americans didn't think that World War I or any war is horrific? Are you seriously implying that? Because that's not how it fucking works. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that war is hell. Everybody knows that war is a horrible experience. And anyone who goes through it, no matter what side, is one brave motherfucker. They got my respect. Do you think that people in the U.S., they just think that, oh yeah, war's fine. It's okay. It's fine. I'm just saying.
Yeah, these machine guns are alright killing machines, but they're a bit clunky and they take 3 people to shoot. Perhaps we could make them a bit more compact, user-friendly, get them on the shelves and let crazy people buy them.
There's so many things wrong with this. First of all, are you saying that it was just Americans who wanted to advance technology in firearms more, so that they'd be more smaller, compact, easy to use? No, I'm pretty sure that's not how it works. Anyway, and you say let's just make them more compact, whatever, more easy to use, and put them on the shelf for crazy people to buy them. Boy, that's not how it works. You can't just go to the store. You can't go to Walmart and pick up a fully auto weapon. Okay? Once again, you have no idea what you're talking about, sir. You have no idea at all. To get a full auto weapon, you have to have a special license called a Class 3 license, I think it is. Yeah, Class 3 license. You know the fucking process. It is a process to get it. You have to go through a FBI background check. You have to get it signed off by a sheriff, I think. It's a fucking bitch to get. They do not hand those out to anyone. It's $200 plus thousands and thousands of dollars for the actual weapon itself. Is the average person going to be able to afford that? Is that really... Is some poor rural farmer in Kentucky going to be able to afford a $50,000 full auto weapon. Not to mention all the weapons all the money for ammunition, for upkeep of the weapon, stuff like that. Do you really think the average person is going to be able to get that? But whatever, that's the problem with you anti-gunners. You have no idea how the law works. You have no idea how the process to get a firearm is. But you're just like, they just hand them out to anyone, which is not the case. You couldn't be more wrong. It's just ignorance. And I have no problem with people who have different views and want to voice their opinions on firearms or whatever. You are more than welcome to voice your opinion, have your opinion, whatever. Just don't fucking lie, use fear-mongering and propaganda, basically. Like, if you're gonna fucking talk about it, you're gonna have an opinion, you're gonna voice it, you're gonna make a video, know your shit, dude. Don't fucking lie. That's dishonest, that's shady. Just don't lie, come on now.
What sort of fucking logic is that? If the technology progresses to a point where you can't control it, change your fucking original laws so you can get some control.
What the fuck are you talking about, can't control it? You're acting like America's just some wild fucking wasteland where people walk around outside with fully auto weapons. No, it does not fucking work that way, bro. You go down the street open carrying, let's say, an AR-15, for example, because you know the left loves to demonize it. That's like the only guns they know, AR-15 and AK-47, whatever. You go down the street open carrying a AR-15, even in a state where it's legal to open carry long guns, you're still gonna get stopped or approached or arrested by armed police. What the fuck are you talking about, can't control it? I mean, if you're referring to the mass shootings, they happen in gun-free zones. The police cannot be everywhere at any second whenever someone needs them. That's why I like firearms, because when someone's breaking into your house at 3 a.m. and you have your fucking children in the next room, you need a way to defend them and defend yourself. You're gonna call the police. Okay, we'll be there in 5 to 10 minutes. Cool. You're stuck there for 5 to 10 minutes with a fucking crazy guy coming in through your fucking window at 3 a.m. What the fuck are you gonna do? How are you gonna defend yourself? What if there's more than one person? What if that person wants to kill or rape you or your family? What are you gonna do then? And you can make the argument that, oh, you could just learn self-defense or something. You know, you could learn self-defense. I guarantee you, there will always be someone stronger than you, bigger than you, and more aggressive than you. Always, always, always. Also, do you really expect someone who's elderly, disabled, or physically weak to fend off a big, muscular, bulky attacker? Or just a regular, decent-sized attacker by themselves? Come on, dude, that's unrealistic. Get it together, man. Firearms are a way for everybody to defend themselves. It's a way for everybody to fend off an attacker or a rapist or a mugger or anyone. But, of course, you never hear about law-abiding citizens using firearms to protect themselves, their family, and their property from criminals. You only eat up what the mainstream liberal and Aussie media tells you. Only the negative stuff that firearms can do. But you know that 80% of I think it's gun murders or something are gang related. 80% or more, I think it's a little bit over 80% are gang related. Are you seriously gonna tell me that all those gangbangers and criminals got their guns legally? No. If you're actually gonna say that, and you're out of your mind. But anyway, moving on. Come on.
It's not just technology either that's upgraded and made your laws look obsolete.
Actually, the law isn't obsolete. I don't know if you realize this, but the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and the Second Amendment was put in place because the Founding Fathers knew that the U.S. government itself could become tyrannical, and they just spent years fighting off a tyrannical government. So they put in the Second Amendment, and it was supposed to be that the citizens would have equal firepower to the government. Hold on. Let me get my good old Constitution out. Constitution. That's the sections or the articles. Let me read you the Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, you might be thinking, oh, well-regulated militia, that means they were regulated by the government. Well, at the time, well-regulated meant well-drilled, like you would know what to do in case shit went down. So, basically, no, the laws aren't obsolete. The Second Amendment was put in place so that if the government got too big for its own good, got too tyrannical, then the citizens would be able to take it out and establish a new government that respects their rights as citizens, does stuff like that. But it's just like, it's so much ignorance. People who do this don't know about the Constitution. They pull shit like this, like, oh, the founding fathers have no idea that guns would become as advanced as they were today, which it's just ignorance. There were many rifles. There were rifles back then that could hold 20 or more rounds and fire them off all at once. There were Gatling guns. There were cannons that citizens could own. I mean, I don't know if you know fucking cannons, but that shit does a lot of fucking damage.
Society's changed in general. See, how many meth, crack-related mental illnesses were there 200 fucking years ago when these laws were made?
Fuck if I know. Pretty sure back then that shit wasn't even an issue until, war on drugs and everything, but, it's another issue. But before we go on, I want to read something. If I could find it in this big-ass book I've fucking got. See, it's a problem with this book. It's pretty good. It has a lot of, writings from back then, founding fathers. It's kind of hard to find shit. Almost there. Bear with me, guys. This has a point. Okay, he's like saying our laws become obsolete. No, they don't. Once again, I said the Second Amendment was built so that if a government became too tyrannical for its own good, or too big for its own good, whatever, then the citizens have the right to abolish that government. So therefore, the citizens should be able to have equal firepower to the government. Let me read you something from a little document. It's not that big, called the Declaration of Independence, whatever. Okay. Deriving the repair. That when any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute a new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. So yeah, that's why I think, in my opinion, could disagree, whatever, that any form of gun control is constitutional. Any form. But it's just how I perceive it. You could agree, disagree. Anyway.
Fucking none. It's not fucking 1816, it's 2016. For fuck's sake, Donald Trump, if you're president, so help me God, sort your own fucking country out before you start putting walls up, cunt.
Yeah, real nice. Maybe what you should do is sort your shit out, sort your facts out, because you clearly don't know what you're fucking talking about. You have no idea how the law works. You have no idea the process to get a Class 3 weapon, fully automatic. You just have no idea, sir. And maybe you should focus on your own country's bullshit and your own country's problems before trying to change the laws of a country that you don't even fucking live in. I mean, you might live in America, but your name's loose Aussie. Come on now. Do you really think that people are gonna listen to someone who's not even a citizen of the United States? I mean, if you are, then you should really take your time to learn to read the Constitution, learn what it's about, read some other documents and writings from that time, get a better understanding. Because right now you have no idea what you're fucking talking about, sir. You have no fucking idea. So, yeah. If you're gonna voice your opinion on something, you're more than welcome to do that. I'm not saying you can't, but don't lie. Don't be dishonest. And more importantly, don't talk about something that you clearly know nothing about. If you really want to tackle the issue of gun violence in America, I'm not just talking about mass shootings, I'm talking in general, you should focus on real issues. How about poverty? Poverty is a real reason why people turn to crime. Criminals use firearms. How about lack of education? This ties into poverty, so you know what I'm saying. How about mental illness? You know? Better care for the mentally ill? No. How about Islamic terrorism, which was clearly the case in Orlando? The Muslim man, he pledged his allegiance to ISIS. ISIS took responsibility, and he shot up a gay club, which I don't know if you know, gays aren't really liked in the Muslim community. Homosexuality is punishable by death in 11 Muslim countries. That's fucking insane. But no, that's not to blame. It's guns, it's the NRA, it's Christians, and it's Republicans. That's what you fucking blame. The left. It's fucking disgraceful. Like, grow the fuck up, focus on the real issues, and stop trying to push your bullshit agenda, even though you don't fucking live here. You're fucking Aussie. Come on, dude. Grow up. Get it together.